Hello there, my name is Linda Jo Martin, the Book Lady, and this is my weekly writing video. Today I'm going to give you a few thoughts about novel writing. I have written some novels. This year I'm just writing flash fiction, but I have learned from novel writing in the past that novel writing is pretty easy. If you don't quit, you can write a novel. Basically, each novel is made up of building blocks. The basic building block is words, and after that, words put together form sentences. Sentences put together form paragraphs. Write enough paragraphs and you have a chapter. Write enough chapters and you have a novel. So it's an easy process. The hardest part is starting, and the most important part to make sure that you will be successful is don't quit. Some people write with no plan whatsoever at all, and I've done that in the past. And some people like to write with a very detailed plot written out. I've never done that. What I usually do now is that I will write a paragraph for each chapter, so I know sort of what I want to have happen, but my novels are character-led, so if my novels lead me in a different direction, I'm open and flexible. And usually, if that happens, if the characters start leading me in the novel, I will come to a better conclusion than the one I planned, and that's always very exciting. Now I'm going to go on to part 2 of my video, which is to read one of my flash fiction stories. This year, instead of writing a novel, I am writing flash fiction stories, 500 words or less, and each week I read one of them to you, and it's done very randomly because I have a number for each story, and the numbers are written down on my little papers here, and I randomly pick one that I am not expecting to read to you, but I will read it to you. It is number 8. I have no idea what it is. Oh, there's a quote on the back. It says, "Without deviation, progress is not possible." That's true. Okay, that was said by Frank Zappa. So, looking for story number 8 in my notebook. I write my stories by hand. I have no idea what number 8 is. I wrote it a long time ago. Okay. The prompt for this story is On the Horizon. The prompt came out of this book, A Writer's Book of Days by Judy Reeves. James looked out the window of his 5th floor condo, and his eyes fastened on the hill on the horizon. He had often gazed at it in wonder, for the shape reminded him of the snake with an elephant inside drawing in the first page of The Little Prince. People said the drawing looked like a hat, and only the little prince knew it was a snake digesting an elephant. That shape was the shape of the distant hill, and James wanted to climb it just to see what was there. "Today's the day," he said to himself. He got on his old mountain bike and arrived at the lopsided hill half an hour later after a hair-raising ride on the old farming road turned truck route north to Rathdrum. A narrow road of a solitary lane continued up the hill, snaking around corners and alongside cliffs for about a mile. Then the pavement stopped, but the road continued. James, sweating profusely, stopped for water, considering how enjoyable the return trip would be, flying downhill with a breeze in his face. The exhilarating promise of it was enough to motivate him to continue to see where the road led. He walked, pushing the bicycle on the dusty road circumambulating the entire hill like an embrace. Another mile, and the road ended, but a path veered off to the right, going uphill steeply. It became a chore to push the bike, so he concealed it behind bushes in the woods. Continuing on with 2 water bottles and a pocket knife, just in case it might be needed. A sharp turn here, a circle path around a tree, and the well-trod walkway ended only what seemed like yards before the top of the higher side of the hill. James continued on, determined, and there at the top was a large granite slab of rocky surface greeting him, and on that there was a door. A door on top of this hill? Who brought it here? He wondered, and why? The door wasn't standing up, it was lying down flat, and he kicked it. It didn't look natural. He realized the unnatural nature of it was that it didn't look weathered, as one might imagine a door might if it sat out all winter in this northern clime. Furthermore, it was not dusty. No hint of dirt showed on it. How long had it been here? Who brought it here? James bent down to tip it up, to peer at the other side, and at that moment discovered underneath a hidden stairway, hewn into the rock. What could it be? James shuddered. The door was of no material he knew of. It was not wood. It was not metal. It was strange, but easy to pick up and set aside as he contemplated the stairway. Should he enter? But no, he reasoned, he had not brought a flashlight. Just then a light went on inside the rocky mystery cave, as if something heard his thought about light. James panicked. He grabbed the door and plunked it back in place to cover the staircase. He thought he heard laughter down those stairs. Then it emerged, and he heard soft, quiet laughter all around him. Running down the hill, he heard a voice say, "I ate an elephant. That's pretty funny." James recovered his bicycle and indeed flew down the odd hillside, promising himself never to return there again. Part 3 of my weekly writing video is to read a tip by Jack Kerouac. They are recorded in this book, A Writer's Book of Days by Judy Reeves, on page 18. And we're up to tip number 6 at this point. There's actually 30 tips on page 18, all from Jack Kerouac. I read one each week at the end of my writing video. And this week it is tip number 6. Be crazy, dumb saint of the mind. Dumb saint is spelled D-U-M-B-S-A-I-N-T, all one word. Be crazy, dumb saint of the mind. And that sounds so much like Jack Kerouac. That's his writing style. So I am very impressed actually with that tip, and I think it's a good one because if you pick a crazy idea to write about, then it's usually a lot more interesting than other things you could be writing about, and people like to read the more interesting and zany and out there fiction. So I am going to actually focus on that this week in my flash fiction. I am going to be crazy, dumb saint of the mind. Yeah, I'll give it a try. So that's the end of my writing video this week, and so glad that you came by to watch, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.